had been working together, and the Muppet Studios brought us together, and we've just been in love ever since. It's been
it's like The Bachelor. It's beautiful. So go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. No, I've learned a valuable lesson, which is we have Zoom writers' rooms where we're not in person. And whenever you're creating a show, create a show with a voice performer, because Bill just entertains us all day long. Various characters and voices, and it's the best. It's the best.
You know what?
Right on.
Yeah, so you're gonna, Bill, you're gonna be Dr. Teeth, correct?
Yes, I took over. Fortunately, I was allowed to take over the part of Dr. Teeth over Jim Henson, who originally performed him.
Wow.
So I've been doing him for many years now. And that's the character that I'll be wiggling around.
So when you take on a character who is, done by an icon like Jim Henson like that, and that character itself is iconic, are you doing your best to do an impression of how Jim would have done it? Do you add a little bit of your own flavor to it?
Yeah, it's I could never be Jim's Dr. Teeth, right? So I at best it's an impersonation, but then over time you start to find your way of infusing some of yourself, I think, into that, and so that the character doesn't just stay stagnant. He grows, continue to grow. And just something I learned real quick, I perform Rolf the dog and Dr. Teeth. And so these both growly kind of characters. And I was performing Dr. Teeth one day, and Dave Gold said to me, Jim used to grit his teeth when he did Dr. Teeth. And so I learned that this was kind of an approach to get to the sound and the feel of Dr. Teeth.
Right.
I grin.
That's great.
So it's a combo of those things.
Yeah.
But I kind of had to let the impersonation go a bit. Yeah.
You know what? As near and dear as the Muppets are to anybody my age and younger, obviously, but I'm aware of who did the voices. I try to disassociate that person from the voice because I so want this character to be real. But I mean, I was a big Frank Oz fan, as was so many people with all the variety of voices that he did. You can't stand him.
That bastard.
Did he? Was he the voice of Animal? I had always assumed that he was. Okay.
Well, yeah, he's the creator of Animal. He would say to you the voice is about 10%, but the character that he created, is Animal.
Wow. It's amazing. And with the Muppets, one of the draws, and going back to the Muppet Show, is when that show was on, the biggest stars of the time were on that show. Yep. I mean, you had Elton John and Buddy Rich and all these
Mark Hamill,
gigantic stars would come on this show. Is that something you guys are looking to achieve with the Muppets Mayhem as well, Adam?
Absolutely. If Buddy Rich, we'll no. Since our show is set in the music world, we are looking at the biggest to get anyone, the big music superstars. We want them all on the show. And the great thing about this band and the Muppets in general is when you ask if there's availability, it's more likely they're going to come. For the Muppets than for any other new show that's out there, because Muppets just have 40 years of history, and everyone wants to meet animals. So, hopefully we'll get the big stars. Okay.
Bill,
that's the intention.
Bill, I was lucky enough. You invited me to the set of Muppets Most Wanted back in 2013 or 2014. We were at Pinewood Studios outside of London, and this is Nick, by the way. It's nice to see you.
Hey, Nick.
And
how are you?
I'm doing great. It was such a cool experience, in no small part because you would see the Muppets lying there lifeless before they were brought out on set, right? And so you see these actual iconic characters, and to me, sentient living beings, but they weren't brought to life yet. And I'm curious, your perspective, Bill, about like when you see Kermit, when you see what the puppet actually is, before it gets to set, do you feel the magic attached to those these characters?
Oh, probably when I first started. I mean, it's been 30 years, so I think not that the magic has gone away, but for me, they come alive when they come alive in the set. Not so much sitting there on the table, but I understand what you're talking about. I know that feeling.
It's like a puppet morgue, right? When you see them.
It's kind of like a buffet of characters.
Well, I
pick
love
one
that.
and play around with it, you know.
I love that it's fans that are behind the creation of this, because when the Muppets came back onto the scene, when like Jason Segel did the Muppet movie back in, what was that, 2011?
11,
He was a fan. And so you could see that like in the actual like the finished product and stuff. So Adam, you and I were contemporaries. And so you grew up with the Muppet Show and Fraggle Rock and Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas and all of that stuff. So I would imagine that you're taking that love and that passion that you experienced when you were a kid.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so interesting when you say all the writers in the writers' room, we forget that we're not writing for actors, like, because all we know is what we've seen and what the performers can do. So we'll pitch stuff like Dr. Teeth rolls his eyes. And it's like, you know, and Bill will be like, well, that's a puppet. So it can't actually roll its eyes. But you feel like you're writing for a human because the performers are so good. Bill's like, Bill showed us all a video just how to get some Muppets walking through a door. And he was filming below, you know, where the performers were. And there was like 19 people crawling around on top of each other just to get them to walk.
Yeah.
You know, they're rolling on dollies and there's people are just the hands and some of the performers and there's camera people and holding wires. It's really complicated.
Well, there's something to that analog approach that and I think that's something you never want to lose because Nick Murphy, who does the video work here for the show, we've talked about special effects in movies and so on and so forth. I like when I don't like all digital. I like the mix of the analog and you get something I think that's really special, especially with this realm. I wanted to ask you both, going all the way back to the early days, Sesame Street and Jim Henson's vision and then, to the Muppet Show and so on and so forth. There's always been an SNL. There's always been this very acerbic wit to the material that transcended. It's a puppet show, right. And there was a knowing. When did you, in your childhood, like for you, example, Adam, start to realize they were playing a sharper comedy note than you might have been aware of as a younger child?
Well, I think, for me, the one of the greatest Muppet jokes of all time. First of all, there's Muppet movie when there's a fork in the road.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
That's like, that's a great joke for a little kid.
Right.
To see a giant fork in a road. And then there's something we talked about in the room where I remember where in Great Muppet Caper, everyone's talking at once and Kermit's screaming for everyone to calm down and Janice is still talking. And she's talking about how she was taking nude photography for somebody. And, she's the last one talking still. And then she realizes everyone else is talking and she stops. But I remember as a kid, I'm like, what is that? Like,
yeah.
So there are those memories of like jokes that went over your head. And then you watch them as an adult and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't get that when I was a little kid.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, there's that double love. And that's what we want to do with our show. And the thing with this band is they're perpetually high. I mean, that's what all the memes are.
Happy, you mean happy?
Right. Yeah. Happy. Yeah. That's like there's like memes. There's one of my favorite internet memes is the band with Willie Nelson, and it's like the meme is something like, it's crazy that Willie Nelson is the least baked one in this photo. And even having the puppets themselves have closed eyes. Like I never realized that.
Yeah, Janice's eyes are closed all the time.
Yeah.
So with this, can we expect the tone to be? Is there a little bit of Spinal Tap? Is there a little bit of Almost Famous? Is there a little bit of The Last Waltz? What's being incorporated into this?
I think it's all of that. I think we're trying to make ourselves laugh, which is, I think, the tradition of the Muppets is that the writers and the performers all were trying to make themselves laugh. And, Jim I really felt that he was shooting for a specific demographic. He just felt it was for everyone. And we're just walking that line and making sure, it's not too offensive for kids, but yet it's still fun for adults. And we're doing the same thing. It's kind of like, I think of also like the old Warner Brothers cartoons. When I was a kid, I had no idea what most of those jokes probably were until I got older. And I think that's what's great about the Muppets is you can keep watching as you get older and you get more out of it. So I think that's kind of our, right, madam? That's kind of how we're.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So there is no release date just yet. Is there a time frame that we're looking here?
Well, we're shooting in a couple weeks.
Okay.
I know that. But I think we're going to assume it's going to be in the fall or winter, maybe around Christmas, hopefully.
Are you concerned about the shaky nature of the Disney Corporation and whether it'll be around?
You never know. They could fold. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I mean, as an adult, I'm going to Disney World in less than a month, and I will absolutely positively make it into the Muppet Theater. Like, as an adult, like, I still, to this day, I absolutely love them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, us too. I mean, we want, as far as Disneyland or Disney World goes, we want more Muppets there. I mean, this is one of the goals with this show is like, I look at, there's a Moon Knight show coming out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
No one besides comic book fans know who Moon Knight is. And in a month, everyone's going to be talking about Moon Knight being the biggest piece of like franchise IP. Mm-hmm. Disney has the Muppets. Bigger than most Marvel characters, Kermit, all these are iconic characters. They should be all over Disney World, Disneyland. Like, we want, one of our goals is just to have this, 24/7 Muppets. Like, there's going to be shows and movies and variety shows and live shows. It's right now, it's kind of like an untapped piece of property they own. Just, that we feel like just should be the one of the bigger properties they have.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, if you're going to expand this much, I was going to target this towards you, Bill, as far as creating new characters for the Muppets, because there's only a handful. There's a few, and maybe sometimes you'll see something new pop up. But how hard is it to weasel in a new character amongst that troupe? I would imagine people are pitching it regularly. I have an idea for a character, and then you have to go through tons of development to get something that you think is going to be worthy and is going to stick. So is it a lengthy and difficult process to create a Muppet?
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, there have been characters that came out of being in the background and something happened. For example, Miss Piggy was a dancing pig and she was in the background, and she came out of that because the guys were playing around and the character started to grow out of that. Other times it's written, and so that process is probably a little longer, maybe, because you're trying to find the person that fits, or feels like they have a handle on who that is. We have some new characters coming up in the show, and so that process is going to be about finding the performer, and you have no time to test them. It's just going to find the right person, hopefully.
Does sometimes the voice come first, or is it usually the character and then you put the voice to it, or how does that process work out?
Again, I think it just depends on the performer. There's characters that I've done or created that started with a real person, and so I kind of knew what the personality was like, and then tried to figure out, well, what does that person maybe sound like? And then what is the character? What is the design? If, for example, Pepe was my wife's aunt.
Okay.
So I took her personality and applied this voice to her, to this character. And then we decided later that it would be a King Prawn. And so it just grew out of stages.
Okay.
It just depends.
Because anybody who's had kids, if they have toys and it's playtime with your kids, you gotta put on a voice or something. And then all of a sudden you start doing it, you're like, either wait, I can't do this for very long. This actually hurts my throat.
Yeah. This is tiring.
That sounds like a porn producer.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that any longer. So you gotta play, I guess, right?
Well, that's funny. I think that's probably the most natural approach, is that you're trying to change your voice, right? That's the quickest thing you can change about yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Is probably your voice. But then it really becomes about, how do I delineate or differentiate between this character and that? Like I said, Rolf the dog and Dr. Teeth could sound very similar.
Right.
But by the nature of the character, Rolf's a little more whimsy and he's light and floppy. And then Dr. Teeth is more gritty and cool. You know?
Yeah.
So you try to find the personality and infuse the voice that way, I think.
But I really do love this approach because the Muppets, for all of their run, have been an ensemble, right? It's been all or nothing. They've always been the Avengers, right? But taking this one group of Muppets and just sort of putting the microscope on them is awesome. Yeah. And you can do that, because you'd mentioned like this. The Disney and the whole Marvel universe, like you can take these Avengers and you have these standalones. I'm looking at like Statler and Waldorf, the two old guys that are in the balcony. Those guys have a backstory, right? There is a reason why, and so there literally could be a whole other side story of what their lives are like, and Gonzo and his chickens, and it's so. I just sort of dawning on me right now this approach to the Muppets franchise, Adam, that you were just talking about.
Oh yeah, I mean we could do. Pigs in Space. I keep pitching a Bunsen and Beaker show. I mean,
Rats in New York.
Yeah.
There's
the greatest thing is there's so many great characters to pull from. And that's really rare that you have this deep bench. Now, for us, for this show, we really are focusing on the band. And that's been so cool because you don't know anything about some of these characters, where they're from, how they met. Like, just to dig in there, it's been really cool creatively. And working with the performers who've been doing these characters for years, just making them more three-dimensional, more just adding in all these elements you never knew about them. Is just really fun to take these iconic characters and flesh them out like that.
I'm wondering, Adam, because of the iconic nature, and anytime someone takes a dive into expanding universe or building upon it or creating new material, you have hardcore fans. Think about like Star Wars fans have done to George Lucas and things in the past. I can't imagine you have very vitriolic Muppet fans, but are they for the most part accepting, or you had anybody irate?
There's vitriolic fans of everything, of anything. Sports, Star Wars, Marvel, and Muppets. So hopefully, I think what my thing is like giving people what they want, like, not changing it too much, having it feel familiar, the thing they fell in love with, but then adding new elements on top of it that you go, oh, I never realized that. I think Cobra Kai is the show that does it best.
Yeah.
It's just taking something you love, giving it to you again, but also building upon it in ways that kind of blows your mind. So that's my approach when you're doing something like this. And I think when you have Bill, who's been doing it for so long, I mean, Bill worked at Sesame Place. Like there's a world where Bill helped me out of a ball pit.
He's trying to say I'm older than him, I
think. Bill has been doing this for so long that at the end of the day, we have someone who, and Bill and Dave particularly, have been doing this for so long. They are, they know what the other performers like. They know the tone. So we really are well covered with this show.
Adam, were Bill's first words to you, "Where is your mommy?"
I said, yeah, no. I mean, I love Bill. When Bill was at Sesame Place, I mean, it was the age where I would have been going, and I said, I'm the one that pooped in the ball.
Bill, did you have to perform in that parade they would have every day at Sesame Place?
No, I was too busy sweeping up cigarette butts and cleaning toilets.
By the way, Adam, my only memory of Sesame Place is that ball pit. If my memory serves me correctly, it was green balls. Only, and I remember coming out of the ball pit and not being able to find my family. They had all left. Every single one had left the ball pit.
Casey couldn't discern the ruse that the family was trying to execute.
And this guy Bill reached out his hand and he pulled me out of the ball pit. Yeah,
it's funny, Sesame Place. I probably wouldn't be a part of all this if I hadn't worked there, because that's where I met Brian Henson. He worked there in the summer as well. That's where we first met and became friends. And years later, we connected again and did other things. And
Had you gotten a job just about a quarter mile further down the road, you could be working at Today's Man. So,
yeah, or Mr. Dunderbox at the Oxford Valley Mall.
And Adam, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to talk to us today because I know that you're on spring break right now. So taking time out of your vacation.
Of course, anytime. I actually I have a original Garbage Pail Kids painting, color rough of your show of Preston and Steve. So I don't know if you guys have that at all.
Yeah, we have it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the you have the final painting, I have the rough. So I'm big fans. Anytime.
That's awesome. We
Anytime.
appreciate it. Yeah. This what you guys are involved with right now, very exciting. You know, when you get the information on the actual premiere, let us know because I mean, you know, who doesn't love the material in the Muppets for crying out loud?
And I'm curious, a guy that we know that we've met before, Kirk Thatcher, he's involved with Muppets. Is he involved in this as well?
No, Kirk just did the Muppet Haunted Mansion with Bill.
Okay.
So Kirk is coming off directing that and won a producers. What did you guys win? A producers Guild Award?
PGA, yeah, we won a PGA.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
And Kirk
golf, but it was produced.
Kirk directed the Muppet Wizard of Oz. So I've worked with Kirk. He's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a tiny little group on this one, and I think Kirk is, I can only assume, going to do another Muppet movie at some point.
I would think so.
Well, the Halloween, the Haunted Mansion, that's going to be a perennial. That was a blast.
Yep.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
All right. Well, when you get a date, when you know that exactly when this is hitting, please let us know because we are more than happy to help spread the word. We're such big fans, and we appreciate you guys' time.
Thank you. Can I say two quick things?
Please do, Bill. Yep.
I have to say hello to my brother, otherwise he won't talk to me.
Right. Hey, Gene.
And then Happy Piano Day. I don't know if you're aware of this
no.
musical, but it is Piano Day. And look out for Ralph the dog. He has a little video that'll be coming out probably later this morning.
Excellent.
All right.
Wonderful. We will certainly look out for that. All right, guys, thank you. And again, it is The Muppets Mayhem. It's going to be on Disney Plus. We'll get you the dates as soon as we find out. Thank you, Adam Goldberg and Bill Beretta. You guys are the best. We appreciate it. I love it, man. Excited for him.
It's time to play the music.
Oh, my God.
It's time to light the light.
So I remember I remember obviously Dr. Teeth and Animal, and I remember Janice was the bass player.
You got Zoot is the blue one. He's the one who plays the saxophone.
And then he looks in it at the end after blowing that last note on this song, right?
Yep.
I always assumed Dr. Teeth was a riff on Dr. John.
And then Floyd, is that the other guy?
Yes, you know his full name?
No.
Sergeant Floyd Pepper.
Pepper, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's cool, man. When that comes out, we'll definitely let you know when that's going to be happening.
I remember when they for a brief period they were selling like Kermit puppet dolls that were fairly were accurate, and even then you'd look at it and be like, wow, there's some sort of electricity off those things.
I had a Cookie Monster when I was a little kid. And it had like a hole in the back of the throat.
Oh,
of course,
no.
I would stick my I would.
You like that?
I would have him eat cookies.
Different kind of monster.
And he would disappear.
Is this better than a cookie?
Yeah.
You
Instead
like
of a
this
double
better
O.
than a cookie, bitch?
That's terrible. I just thought it.
Preston is concerning me. He uses his little thingy to, I don't know, it's revolting.
My favorite by far was Grover from Sesame Street. He was my dude. He was the one that I liked the most. By the way, I mentioned to Bill, Frank Oz. Does he legitimately not like Frank Oz when he said that, or was he joking?
He's joking.
Oh, yes, he was kidding. I thought you meant Bill Weston, because I thought I could see Bill Weston.
I don't like him.
Too much fun for children.
Little Rugrats drive me crazy.
Because Frank Oz, I loved all of his characters. I loved Grover and Miss Piggy. Who else he voiced? Animal was another one, obviously.
Ert and Bernie.
He was Ernie. No, he was. I'm sorry, he was Bert, and then Ernie was Jim Henson.
You ever hear Miss Piggy back to back with Yoda? They're really similar.
Oh yeah, they're almost identical.
I will tell you something that might be sacrilege, but after a while, the constant focus on Kermit and Miss Piggy, I got bored of. I'm like, you got 4,400 other Muppets. Can we hear about them?
Okay,
I got sick of moi.
That might be true, and I respect that, Steve. However, at their wedding in Muppets Take Manhattan, I get a little misty-eyed.
Yes, no.
That's a beautiful ceremony.
I
You're not
get
going
it.
to tell me otherwise.
It's just a little too much because I liked all the other characters too, and I wanted to see them.
All right. Well, do we have a couple of minutes to
Yes, sir.
to play with here?
Our square dance?
Yes, it's time. Everybody, your partner.
Right.
Bow to your corner.
Out of your corner. And God, square dancing. You know, we should really do this.
We should. We should do it.
We should get a square dance
How about
caller in here.
I never did that, by the way.
Do it. You never did it?
No, that was a perennial for you guys in gym
yeah.
For
class.
gym class.
Oh, yeah, without question. I used to Alaman like
Preston.
a son of a bitch.
Let's do it at a sorority mixer.
Oh,
A sorority.
man.
Oh.
Not a, it might
Yes.
suit it, but no, I think a sorority would be sorority party.
Yeah. Well, either one would work. I think
Yeah.
a mixer or a sorority would be good because you'd Alaman and Promenade.
Oh, yeah.
and-
Promenade that pretty little lady. Promenade her home.
do they still exist even, like the square dance callers?
Oh,
I mean, prior to COVID, there are a few places that'll do it. They'll have a night where people can come out.
Marissa?
Our friends down the hallway have a weekly appearance at Prospectors in, is that Mount Laurel, New Jersey?
That's a square
Talking to
dance?
the
Oh,
wrong
you guys
room.
don't
I
know
don't know.
Prospectors. Oh my God, it is a country bar.
Come
And they-
on down.
They have like a bar and restaurant, and then they have a separate back room that
It's
might
probably
be
for
bigger.
line dancing and not square dancing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
is
so.
that different?
Yes.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
I went to a
Line
country bar one time.
It's actually pretty.
Did you?
Have you
Yeah,
ever been
that's
to
the end of my
Gillies?
story. I went to a country bar.
Okay,
one time.
so
That was it.
we used to go to a country bar.
I got out and did a line dancing. I'm like, okay, I did it. We can leave now.
The hell was the name of it? It's right next to
Panhandlers?
the King of Prussia Mall. No, but dude,
Yes.
Steve.
Yeah, what was that called?
Oh, freak!
Oh, yeah.
Here's the deal.
Oh, Sister
On-
Bangers.
No,
Spittoons?
cousin Spittoons. I think is.
No, it was like Texas long.
No. Give me a second though.
You danced with them when they came in the studio.
No.
Oh,
This
no?
is when I was in college. Because in college,
Yeah.
on Friday nights,
You're thinking of the Buckle Bunnies.
Yes.
That's who you danced
That's
with.
what I was
and
Okay,
that was
go
at the Xfinity Live.
Yeah,
But
PBR.
on Friday nights from 5 to 7, it was $5 to get in.
Yes.
All you could eat,
$10 to get out.
all you could drink for
think it's
$5.
It's like a Plaza Azteca now. Like
You
right.
can't beat that.
No.
It's across the. I know exactly what we're talking about. We went there too. My girlfriends would go line dancing at this place, and we would just go and get the cheap beers.
It was almost free beers.
Yeah.
$5 all you could eat, all you could drink. And
What
then
the
the
hell was
food
the
was
name of
actually pretty decent. Man, what the hell was the name of it? Dude, I mean, we put them out of business.
We're watching the Buckle Bunnies video here, Casey, and you joined in towards the end of it. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was called KP Corral.
Yeah.
That's what it was
KP
called.
Corral.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. And,
And
so
where was this?
This all right, so it's the old like Fox and Hound. I don't remember
Yeah.
what
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
called now, but that building was the KP Corral. And you walked
Really?
in, and downstairs was the line dancing. You walked down, $5.
It was like the Dick Clark's restaurant for a stretch
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Yep, it was.
And it was like, I mean, gin and tonics, rum and coke. Like it wasn't, it wasn't.
And
It
I
was
forgot.
well drinks for $5, right? Yeah, okay.
Oh no,
Oh, all night.
all night. You paid $5.
$5. Oh, dude, that is a recipe
Oh,
to
my
just.
Yes, it was.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, be as sloppy as you can
Well,
possibly.
why would they even
be.
institute such a thing?
I guess maybe they thought, all right, we'll get them in here and then they'll stay.
and
but-
we'll lose all our inventory cheaply.
well, they
and
lost
it
a lot
was
of
to
inventory.
get like they had one in Westchester at what used to be Alibis 15 North, that place, and it was early. So if you got there at a certain
Right.
time, it was only $5, and then it was I think it was 25 cent. Yeah, it was 25 cent well drinks, and then 50 cent beers at 9 o'clock. So from 7 to 9.
Yeah, that's just to get you there.
Just to get you there.
And then
you
after that,
stay
they
all-
go back to regular price.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to stay.
Stays
Everybody's going to
all-
hang out.
all
But they
night.
don't.
Yep. No, they would. I know what
Oh
you're
yeah,
talking
no,
about.
no.
Yep.
We stayed. I
Oh,
mean,
did
as
you?
long as you could stand, and then you had to go home.
I'm going to go to Jay. Hi, Jay. Good morning.
It's KP Corral. One of my favorite
Yep.
places.
Did you used to go there, Jay?
Loved it.
Yeah.
I loved the girl that went there. I really wasn't a good line dancer, but I went there for her.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? Do you remember
You
the
do a lot.
$5
for a woman.
$5 all you could eat and drink?
Yep, right on.
Wow. How did they make? Well, they didn't. They went out of business.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched my buddy.
Thanks, Jay.
I don't want to. I don't want to say which business it was, and maybe they've gone out of business. But the egg roll, there was like anything that could be turned into an egg roll, and we go and make appearances at this place. I'm trying to remember if it was on Delaware Avenue, but it
A
was
strip club?
no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was it Maui?
Philly Rock? Oh, well, Maui.
Yeah.
Maui had that like 10-cent drink
right.
thing.
That place is gross.
And it was disgusting, I know. And I was there every Saturday night for years. But yeah, until like 10 o'clock or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And you could tell when it was coming to the end because there would be a mob around the bar.
Yeah, and you'd be carrying out
And you'd be
16.
carrying as many cups as you possibly could. And everybody, I'm like, what's going on there? And like the second it was over, it just cleared.
Yeah.
And that's when I would go
I'll
over and
take
get
14 SoCo and lime, please.
Oh my God.
Vodka
That'll be
cranberry.
$3.
Yeah.
But I remember my buddy. I've never seen control like this in my life. He was about to throw up, and he had a small little gin and tonic glass, and I just see in his face, and he goes, "Listen, you know how hard it is to stop peeing once you start.
Sure, yeah.
Try stop puking.
Right, yeah. Once you know.
He vomited into the glass, filled it to the very top, and then he looks at me like, I'm not done yet. And then I handed him my glass, and he was like, and then barfed into that glass.
Was he putting lids on them?
No, but he then ended up like putting them
These are
on,
to go?
he put them on the bar beneath his feet. I've never seen control like that. That, I mean, is a...
Think of the person that's got to clean up in like a bar like that.
I know.
They deserve battle pay.
I think there's a place in Westchester. I'm trying to find it that does line dancing
There
still.
was one in Quakertown.
Well, we
called,
don't want to do line dancing. We're going to do square
I know.
dancing.
I
Square
kinda like
dancing
line
is
dancing.
more. Line dancing is probably the more. That's more footloose territory, where square dance is more.
Well, square dance, you're just listening for what to do next.
Yeah,
The line
square
dancing
is stupid easy. Line dancing,
no.
line dancing is easy, but there is a little bit more to it than square dancing.
But I would think line dancing would be. I haven't done either. I would think line dancing would be done would be easier because it's a routine. It's the same thing. You're learning it once you got it.
I know.
You got
Well,
it.
square, you
would
have to
think
learn
so.
the various commands.
But the square dancing moves are even
Are easier? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but
Got it.
Kathy, I think we should
This
invent.
is it.
We should invent rock and roll line dancing because it's only like country music line dancing, right?
Yeah. Break It Lounge is the place in Westchester that does the line dance. I don't know if they do square dancing. Sorry.
There was one in Quakertown called Montana West that we had a few.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
a few events there over the years, and they had a bull you could ride, and I know they had line dancing. I don't know if they ever had square dancing though.
Hey, I'm going to go to MC on the phone. Say, MC, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, it says here you worked at KP Corral.
Well, I worked there when it was Popcorns, and then I think in like 1989, 1990, they turned it over to a country place.
Country popcorn.
Yeah.
right.
Well, yeah.
Well, what was Popcorns?
It was like a nightclub back in the 80s, where they played dance music. I was a cocktail.
Oh, it
waitress
sounds
there.
totally like a place. I we had a place called Confetti.
Oh.
So there you go. Popcorn, confetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what ours was called.
It was owned by Flanagan's. Like there used to be a Flanagan's down on South
Okay.
Street. I think it was Second and South.
Total
So it
meat
was owned
market,
by-
right?
Oh my God, total meat market.
Yeah.
I got groped every single night.
Yep. Ah, the good old days.
All you can grow for $5.
And a lot of them were 18 to get in, 21 to drink.
Oh my.
Yeah, we did that on Sundays. We did team night on Sundays where we had to like put wood up over all the bar area,
Yeah.
the wells and stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's
But
funny.
Do you happen to remember how long KP Corral lasted? Where that was able to stay in business?
They lasted a couple of years because it became line dancing and country music became really big at that time.
I remember.
But we didn't think that it was going to last. So when they did the redecorating to make it country, they just put plywood up over all the other like dance type decorations.
Plywood
So
looks
like,
beautiful.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
They renamed it Finger Bangers, Press.
Yeah, you get finger blasted in the bathroom.
All right. Thanks, MC. Appreciate it.
That's great.
Yeah, I remember it was that early 90s.
Yeah.
The line dancing craze hit and the bars started opening up. And that's when I went. I went to one and they tried teaching me some line dances.
How long? What were the years for Pulsations?
80s, late, mid to late 80s. I remember going to their. God, I had to have been in like 6th or 7th grade.
I went
and so
88, 89.
that was
that
probably-
era, yeah. And they had like a youth night, Steve, so you could go and obviously
Youth night.
anybody could attend, yeah.
Feel like you were an adult?
Yeah.
Yeah. Marissa?
All right, I did some research. I found the Delaware Valley Federation of Square and Round Dancers.
Round dancing.
I don't know what round dancing is.
What they do is they even off the edges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
All
so
right.
they have monthly meetups, places like the Brooklawn Community Center, Christchurch and Ridley Park, Emmaus Fire Company, all over the place.
It's Apostle Square dancing.
Yeah, maybe we weekend?
Well, down the road, we'll find an event where it makes sense, and we'll do a square dance session. Like the whole night doesn't have to be square dancing.
No,
it can be
we can do
a featured part of
dirty dancing,
whatever our evening is. All right, round dance. Here we go. Modern social round dance. Round dancing is a choreographed and cued ballroom dance that progresses in a circular counterclockwise pattern around a dance floor. Well, this sounds like they would do it in Louis XIV's court or something like that. The two major categories of ballroom dances found in round dancing are the smooth and international ballroom styles and the Latin dances as well.
And the foxytrot.
I think of, like, I was watching The Man in the Iron Mask the other day, and they would stand there and just, like, put one hand up in front of each other and just essentially twirl around in a circle, and that's their version of dancing.
I always think of the dance scene in Top Secret, Preston, where they're doing they're doing the ballroom dance, but they're doing all these things like pushing their chin.
Yep.
It is kind of fun. The whole purpose of the square dancing in gym class, believe it or not, was to teach you your left from your right.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah. That's what the whole thing was. So,
we did it in high school, so I think we knew our left, or maybe they thought very little of us at that point.
It was elementary school for me.
Well, anyhow, I was going to talk about some other stuff, but I'm actually glad we talked about square dancing for just a moment, because it gave us an idea of something to do down the road now that we're going to gather more often and get together and do things, which is really, really cool. And
we should get that woman from the concert or the Eagles concert want to dance.
Yeah, she could be our instructor.
Thank God, no.
Wow. All right. Well, listen, let's take a break and come back in a second. Some bizarre file stories are coming up when we return. Don't forget, March Madness gets back in session again today. Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram City. It kicks off at noon with Pierre. We'll get the details with him when he pops in. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3
more Joshua trees.
I
didn't see one.
There are a lot of Brad trees and a few Eddie trees, but there's no. It's they're actually few and far between.
Did you go to Death Valley as well?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've been.
Have you?
Yeah.
I want to get to that one as well.
The national park?
Yeah, I want to get to all the national parks. I think Yosemite's at the top of my list, but that's a little too far from LA, I think. So,
Yosemite. Sorry, that cracked me up.
Could have kept it inside.
He said
Some of your friends
Yosemite.
may have mental issues that need to be tended to.
Oh my God.
Hi, this is Bono with a serious message. Sometimes people randomly yell out Yosemite. They need to be corralled and taken in for medication.
Casey's justification was he said Yosemite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a park.
It worked for me. Yeah.
But there are certain things that should kick in that, like, to keep you from pooping in public.
Right.
And yelling Yosemite for no reason.
Is like Yosemite a name or something?
Yeah. Yosemite.
Okay. All right, got it.
Get over here.
Yeah, you big lug. Amanda Seyfried and Thomas Sadowski secretly eloped on March 12th after less than a year of dating.
It's such a secret, I don't care.
They are expecting their first child as well.
So he's the dad.
The newsroom actor broke the news on the Late Late Show with James Corden Thursday night after Corden noticed his wedding ring. Sadowski said, "We eloped. We just took off into the country with an efficient and just the two of us, and we did our thing. We had a great day, and it was perfect."
I actually like him. He's a funny comedic actor and a good serious actor, so I approve of this. Please let them know.
The sole guest of honor was Seyfried's Australian Shepherd named Finn.
It's an honor to be here.
What the hell's that all about? Her Australian Shepherd?
Their dog?
Oh.
It's okay. It's a Monday morning, man. It's all right.
No, I thought it was legitimately an Australian. I thought they had a group of
well, you know what? I don't know.
Sheep.
Maybe they do.
And they tended them.
And of course, I had to leave the sheep for a little while, but I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Probably
I was
their
just
dog.
kidding.
I'm not a dog guy.
Obviously.
I'm a shepherd.
What do you do?
Hey, I'm here for the
10 sheep.
Seyfried wedding, and I'm the only person here.
Generally, a guest of honor is not a dog.
No.
Yeah.
So,
It doesn't usually make the news story either.
And I'm an idiot. They wrote their own vows, and
It was lovely.
Finn gave a great speech at the reception.
I gotta say, I'm
afterwards.
a little nervous. I've been known more for my shepherding skills and the kind of man who gives a speech at a wedding. But I gotta say, it was quite an honor and a little bit of a shock to receive the invite.
Casey, do you have any crowd ambiance of?
Just want to say a few words about the couple. Imagine my spies standing out there in the outback playing with didgeridoo, tending a flock. And here comes Western Union. We didn't invite. It was mostly a shock because I'm not even friends with these people, but I'll go anywhere if you provide airfare and a hotel. I understand they'd reached out initially to a soothsayer, but decided to go with the shepherd.
All right. They were going to get their German shepherd to show up.
Now that I would have known.
That I would have known.
It's good to be here.
Anyhow, they wrote their own vows. And,
Always a mistake.
Sadowski described their ceremony as beautiful.
Yeah, he was great.
He expanded saying, listen, she said, the person who I love, admire, respect most in the world, it was she didn't say that. She's the person.
She told me I'm the person she admires most in the world.
Who I love, admire, respect most in the world. And
It's a little cockeye, don't you think?
Everything that it should be. It was just the two of us talking to each other.
I don't want to interrupt things, but these are very good pizza bagels.
I can't tell if this guy is a talking dog or an actual shepherd.
I thought he was a shepherd.
I could tell.
Listen, I don't want to bother you two lovebirds, but where's my coat? Is it upstairs on the bed?
While the big celebrity wedding involving the gowns and pounds worth of gleaming jewels and glossy magazine covers used to be the regular thing, more and more stars are opting out of the limelight for the big day.
It's just those two, the efficient, and a guy in a robe with a crook.
He's a crook.
Giant beard.
He's not Moses.
Yeah, shepherds don't. There are shepherds still, and I don't think they look like that.
Yeah. In my mind, they all have crooks.
I have no leg to stand on at all to criticize anyone.
No.
At this point.
No, the Australian shepherd.
Yep. It's a dog.
What's more ridiculous, having a dog?
Hell no, I'm here for the wedding. Now they invited me. Well, here's your proof. Look, it's wool all over me. I'd like to play a song I composed for the couple on my didgeridoo. Goes something like this.
Thanks for attempting to back me up, Casey. Yes, it would make more sense to have an actual human being,
yes,
as opposed to your dog,
right,
be a witness at your wedding.
Yeah, how does a dog sign
man.
the witness sheet?
There's an ink pad.
By the way, I think I'm going to get lucky with the Shih Tzu at table 7.
Kathy actually had a family member pass recently. That's why she was gone last week.
It's been a bad streak for you, Kathy.
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. My cousin passed away completely unexpectedly. It was very sad. We were all very close with him. He lived with my family growing up for a little bit of time. So it was a little more than just a cousin. We were pretty close to him. So it was sad. I flew down to Florida. They sort of did a celebration of life, is what they called it, and I was held at a family friend's house who, opened their doors to my entire family and all of my cousin's close friends. And one of my cousin's friends was a musician, so he came out. He actually played some music, played some of my cousin's favorite songs. One of their other friends is a minister. He spoke, and we prayed, and all of that happened. But it happened in someone's backyard with palm trees overlooking the backyard. So it was a different feel. It was nice, and it was definitely, I think, a little more enjoyable than a traditional funeral would be. But I didn't think that, I don't know, there wasn't
the keg stands weren't appropriate.
Well, there wasn't time really for mourning. Yeah, and speaking of keg stands, one of my stupid cousins and his dumb girlfriend, who was like a mixture of Joan Rivers and the character Magna on Something About Mary.
Okay,
that's basically
who
his girlfriend was that he brought. Well, they took it as a party and a reason to just get wasted, and It was so. I just felt like it was so disrespectful, even though it was sort of that vibe. It wasn't a let's get wasted and party vibe.
Right.
And
well, unless you're like an alcoholic, and then everything is the let's get wasted and party.
Well, and maybe that played a part into it because they to me they looked like they were high before they even got there.
Okay.
So I think they had something else going on. But when they walked in, they were like, "Yo, what is up?"
Wow. Stop it.
I wanted to shove his face in a trash can. Like,
how old are these people? Are they?
Oh, well, she told the entire party that she was 46. I'll tell you what, she was a minimum 60. Okay, she was not 46, but she continued to tell the party the entire day that she was 46 years old.
Well, all right. So there is a scene in Grown Ups in the beginning of the movie because they all get together because their Little League coach dies.
Yeah.
And David Spade's character, he gets weird. He doesn't know how to act at a funeral. So when he sees all his old friends, he's like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. These things weird me
That's
out."
Casey, that's kind of what it was. And my cousin looked like Panama Jack.
Really?
Yes.
What a mess.
And listen,
Hat and
people,
everything?
had everything. And listen, people, showed up in, some were in suits and, other women were wearing black, but other people were a little more casual. I had like a long dress on. It really didn't matter, but they were a little over the top. It just was a little much. At one point, they were doing the electric slide in the backyard to not the electric slide music.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, okay, we're enjoying music because his friend is here playing. Sit down. Sit the hell down.
This was just those two?
Yeah.
Just alone doing that?
Alone, just the two of them doing the electric slide in the middle of the yard.
I know.
Sit down.
I get that you're trying to go for a more upbeat vibe, but I don't know how. I don't know if I'd know how to act.
Listen, and everyone was kind of like, what are they
Do we have
doing?
fun?
How well do you? I know their family, but how well do you know them? I mean, do you only see them at family functions once in a great while?
This couple?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I only see him every once in a while. Fortunately, I don't have to be subject to him
Panama
that
Jack?
often.
Yeah.
Panama Jack and his 75-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
So them, no, I am not all that close with.
Anybody say anything to him?
Well, at the end of the night, when she told the widow's wife that she was a bad mother, then people said something to her.
Whoa. Okay. No.
Wow.
So,
And this is the girlfriend.
This is the girlfriend who half of us have never even met.
How long have they been dating?
I don't know. Casey.
What a bitch.
Oh my God.
That's
You
just a bad person.
Yeah. It was pretty late when it finally all wrapped up and ended.
Did she arrive in a golf cart by any chance?
No, I don't know.
Steal it from the retirement home?
I don't know. And I avoided them at all costs. I just kept telling my brothers, I was like, I'm avoiding the situation. Like, I'm not going near them. I'm avoiding them. So, of course, I'm waiting in line for the bathroom, and both of them walk out of the bathroom together. I'm like,
oh
really?
my God!
Yeah.
They were banging in the bathroom,
I think
they were
doing
snoring?
something.
I think they were probably doing something else in the bathroom. I don't know that they were banging. So then I ended up having to be in a conversation with them, which was awesome, which is where I learned she was 46.
Yeah, by the way, if you're 60, wouldn't you rather be looking good for 60 or terrible for 46?
You better look good for 60 than terrible for 46.
Exactly. And you know what, though? And she ruined it because she told a story later on in the day.
About meeting Eisenhower?
No, that aged her. Yes, that aged her. And me and my mom figured it out. And we're like, okay, she's at least 58.
So I told him Normandy invasion will work. But anyway, enough about me.
A couple of people are texting and saying, "Hey, you can't have funeral without fun."
Yeah.
No, and listen, but there was. Listen, like my cousin who passed away, his brother is a very fun person, and he was distraught over the loss of his brother, but enjoyed himself, had fun. We told stories about him. There was fun to it. It wasn't this couple didn't need to do that.
Yeah, it's the difference
killed
between-
it. They made it awkward, and they were disrespectful.
Right. It's the difference between a pleasant, upbeat affair, a positive, life-affirming memory.
Celebration of life as opposed to, look at me!
You honestly, you really you need to take the lead from those closest to the deceased, right? So those most affected by the deceased's death, whether a husband, wife, kids, brother, sister, whatever, you take the lead from them. If they seem to be having a good time and upbeat and all that sort of stuff, then you take that lead, right? If they're not, then you need to kind of be at their level or lower.
Yeah. But I mean, your cousin's just an a-hole. I mean, that's all there is to it. Was the family all talking about it?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, That's the risk you run with something like that. Is that people but again, someone who has even the most basic social skills would know how far to push it. You should not be doing the electric slide.
Yeah.
At a funeral.
And so, even though it's a completely different occasion, they would be the a-holes at the wedding, too, probably.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure. They clearly had some issues that need to be worked out. So I'm sure that was the main reason for them. But
This is the way we did it at Gatsby's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
What's that? I can't wait to see Ham-Ass 2, Casey's Revenge.
Ham-Ass 2.
Wait, what was Ham-Ass 1?
Yeah, it'd be the first.
A lot of people were calling for now my involvement with the Greater Philadelphia Film Office, Miney and the Effed Up Horse.
Miney and the Effed Up Horse gets made finally.
Finally. There's that one, and what was the other movie?
What was the other one that
Isn't there another
we kept
one?
referencing?
Oh, yeah. Stinky and...
Stinky
goes to college?
Does it Stinky goes to college? No.
Money in the Effed Up Horse. Maybe it's Stinky.
I think it's Stinky goes to college.
Stinky goes to college?
It's Stinky goes to college.
There's a couple of other
There was a
ones.
script floating around for one of them. For
Miney and the Effed Up Horse.
Yeah.
Well, there was a cast listing for that.
That's what it was. Yeah.
It was a movie that we would have loved to have had made. I think it was the time that Barbaro got sick.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miney, wasn't that when the miners in Pennsylvania were stuck underground?
Sure.
And, yeah.
So it's a powerful story.
Miney.
It's like that Antonio Banderas movie meets Seabiscuit.
An author, his name is Yuval Harari, argues in his book, which is called Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, that gossip is the foundation of our species' survival. Gossiping or sharing social knowledge involves retrieving previously acquired information about an individual from a vast social network.
Presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. It is your time to shine for participants of the Special Olympics USA Games. You can grab a sub tomorrow, and all of those sales are going to be donated to the games. Jersey Mike's Be a Sub above. We'll do some more giveaways in just a little while. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you some stories. We'll start with this, man. A jury awarded $8 million last week to a man who was served a chemical cleaning compound instead of a beer at a bar and casino. It was Henderson's Bar and Casino. 38-year-old special education teacher Lon Enright ingested a sample of honey blonde ale that contained a dangerous chemical cleaning solution while watching a football game. The sample of beer contained potassium hydroxide and nonylphenol polyethylene glyco ether. So this is this big long thing here, polyethyl glyco ether, which are chemicals used in cleaning systems for bar taps and tanks and lines. Yeah. After drinking the sample, according to the news release, Dr. Enright experienced a sudden and intense burning in his mouth, on his tongue, and down his esophagus into his stomach. He soon began convulsing, hyperventilating, and violently vomiting before fire department arrived on the scene. Enright suffered a permanent nerve and tissue damage to his mouth, tongue, and gastrointestinal system.
What a nightmare.
Medical treatment, according to his lawyers, will not cure Enright's injuries. There's no potential for improvement. It will only get worse over time. The trial ended with jurors taking 2 hours to award Enright $3 million in past damages and $5 million in future damages. That seems a little low.
It does seem low.
Considering some of the ones we've seen before, some of the cases we've seen before.
Yeah, the lap burn from the coffee was like $8 million at McDonald's. Remember that?
The chemicals contained in the cleaning compound were meant to liquefy and adhere to organic material, and that's what it did to his insides. He'll have lifelong internal damage, lifelong burning sensation in his tongue, loss of taste, ulcers in the esophagus, and permanent damage to bodily tissue. Wow.
Jesus.
Messed up.
It's horrific, especially since it's supposed to attach to organic material.
Exactly. All right, this is out of Denver. A 71-year-old man has been released from jail after being arrested for using a permanent marker on a basketball court at a rec center to identify the boundaries used for pickleball.
Okay.
Arslan Gooney. I guess it's
Arslan Gooney.
Or maybe it's Gunny. G-U-N-E-Y.
Both are bad.
Arslan Gooney turned himself into jail on Thursday morning. He is facing a felony charge of criminal mischief for causing $10,000 in damages to the pickleball court at the rec center.
Mr. Gooney, why did you do that? Okay.
Arslan was released from jail Thursday on a personal recognizance bond, which means he didn't have to pay a bond because he agreed to return to court Goonie has been suspended from all Denver rec centers. He could face 1 to 3 years in jail. Yeah, he was apparently
the markings were for pickleball, right?
Yeah, he was very resourceful, so I don't know what's going to happen to Goonie. I feel kind of bad for the guy.
Especially since he's living life as Arslan Goonie.
In Ireland, a father of two threatened to kill his sons as he thought that ghosts had gotten into them after he took 3 magic mushrooms to relax, but instead suffered a drug-induced hellish nightmare, court heard.
I got some bad news for you, boy. Sent your demons. Now I'm going to have to kill you.
The 38-year-old father was in tears and holding one of his sons when the police arrived at the family home. The judge, David McHugh, ordered the man to enter into a peace bond for 1 year. Police went to a house in West Dublin after neighbors reported hearing the defendant threaten to kill his 2 sons. The officer said the defendant had consumed 3 truffles and thought the devil was inside his sons, who were aged 2 and 4 years at the time.
Guys, can you shut off the Xbox? I have to murder you now because you're devils.
He said this appeared to be a once-off incident and the children had not suffered any lasting effects. The defense solicitor, Patrick McGarry, said that he was trying to relax at home. After a hard day's work, he was drinking wine, had taken 3 truffles, which were similar to magic mushrooms.
Wow.
He believed the truffles would relax him, but he took too many and suffered a drug-induced hellish nightmare. The solicitor said a quick Google of the substance showed that truffles could cause temporary altered states of consciousness where a person's perception of reality changes.
So anyone who's ever taken mushrooms, I always thought you got to watch how much you take, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he that seemed to be a knowing overdose.
I don't know. Not sure. And sometimes you don't know what strength you're getting.
I didn't know how much I was taking.
He got it into his head that a ghost had gotten into his 4-year-old son, and that's when the shouting began. So
did a ghost just get into you?
He was arrested, and they are keeping an eye on him.
I think that would traumatize the kids, but you say no. They're okay.
How about this? Jurors convicted a California man for orchestrating a murder plot against a doctor who treated his wife. Roberto Elmo Lee, 83 years old, was found guilty on Thursday of first-degree murder. Prosecutors said that he had 67-year-old podiatrist Dr. Thomas Schock killed in August of 2018. Co-defendant Mallory Stewart has pleaded guilty as the shooter to first-degree murder. Christopher Costello and getaway driver Raymond Jacquet IV have also been convicted for their respective roles in the killing. So a bunch of people were involved in this.
Mallory.
Authorities said that they found a single page from a California Medical Board document near Schock's body at his home. The document, which featured Costello's fingerprint, the document concerned Robert's wife, Bonnie Lee, identified by her initials, going to Schock as a patient for an ingrown toenail in 2014. She ended up losing part of her foot and died from an infection in 2016. Authorities said that it was unclear if Schock's treatment had anything to do with Bonnie's death, but a friend of Robert said Robert blamed Schock.
Was it Schock?
Yeah. In a search of the Lee home, authorities said that they discovered the other pages of the medical board document. So this guy thought the doctor had something to do with his wife's death. So
Schock?
He had him, So he had him killed.
Wow. That's insane.
He got like 3 or 4 people on board to help out with it
For
too,
this?
and had them murdered. Yeah.
It's amazing how easily people can be convinced to do evil things.
Yep. All right. And that is the one that we will wrap up with. Here's what I'd like to do as we are taking a break. I want to give away my last $25 gift card to Jersey Mike's, and we'll take caller number 16 at 215-263-WMMR. Month of Giving is on at Jersey Mike's, and you can help them with Team USA Special Olympics. So tomorrow, 100% of the sales will be donated to these athletes, and you can donate. Now on the Jersey Mike's app or in stores.
I just donated, and I've never felt better.
215-263-WMMR.
You know what I like about Jersey Mike's?
Caller
They have
16.
These little boxes with the, you
I
got
know.
your
Lunch in a
sandwich and
box.
your chips.
That's what they brought us,
and a
yeah.
cookie.
The lunchbox.
Yeah, it's good.
It's awesome. So
Yeah.
let's get you on board and set you up with that. We'll come back. And don't forget, Tattoos Day today. Chance for you to win a President Steve tattoo, courtesy of Floating World Tattoo and Piercing on South Street. Text the word tattoo to 39333. We'll be right back.
Complicated in the sound.
So how far does it go back?
It goes all the way back, I guess.
put finger in Stegosaurus?
Oh my God.
Are you effing kidding me, Og? Saw it with own eyes. Put finger right in Stegosaurus. Then sniffed it. Get out. Saw it
With own eyes.
with own eyes. I bet at some rudimentary level it was part of campfire talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Stegosaurus facing away. Og walk up, finger go in. I saw it. Own eyes.
Of course, it's the original storytelling, probably, man.
Yeah.
Steve, I have a response to somebody texted over. Give me the story again about the Stegosaurus, please, because I have a response to that.
All right. Og, put finger in Stegosaurus. Saw with own eyes.
Shut the front rock.
So dumb. You are so dumb.
Yeah.
Shut the front rock.
Saw it.
And somebody also said, get out of cave. Shut the front rock. So thank you to Clint Buffington.
Clint Buffington. Sounds like a pretend name, but it's real.
Yes, and I almost said Clunt Biffington.
Clunt. Name is Clunt. Clunt Buffington.
Biffington.
Punk.
Clunt Biffington.
Biffington.
Because it's Clint Buffington.
Clunt Biffington.
There you go.
What's your name, stranger? Biffington. Clunt. Biffington. Did you say Clunt? Clunt? That's not a name I've ever heard. Many Indians in this area have all sorts of exotic names, but Clunt's not one that I've heard.
Clunt.
Well, you heard it now.
So he is he's the guy that finds the messages in bottles, and he actually tracked down the one that was dropped off of the cruise ship. A guy who was on a Carnival cruise ship. He's from Philadelphia and had been floating out there for years, and he found it and got back to him. So it was
Cramp Difford.
Cramp Difford. A Florida man was sentenced to 5 years in prison Wednesday after his wife died in a crash while the couple was having sex and he was driving while intoxicated.
All right, so she's straddling him, or okay?
That's exactly how
that
it
can be
was.
dangerous.
Matthew Notebart and his wife had just left a country music concert. The pair was having sex when Notebart drove into a canal.
Wow.
The crash left his wife, Amanda, dead at the... And Matthew severely injured at the hospital. Deputies confirmed that he was indeed under the influence. Authorities said that Matthew admitted to being naked and that Amanda was sitting on top of his lap when he drove off the end of the road and struck the opposite canal. Yeah.
That's where I think the safest thing to do is if you're going to be in the front seat, doggy style, right?
Yeah. So you could both see what's
exactly,
coming up.
Yeah.
You can both
Look
steer.
out! Sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Hands on the wheel.
Yep.
All four.
So you put the seat back. It's going to be a little snug. I'm not going to lie.
Does the person in front work the pedals and the
Yes.
steering wheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Good.
You're holding on the wheel. It's like this. You're holding on
could.
the wheel. You're hunched over.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works.
It could do that.
Trust me.
All right. Well,
Did it in the Subaru.
After his 5-year sentence, Notebart will be on probation for 5 years. That's a good question. I've never had I was going to say the balls, but I guess that would be right to do it while actually driving in motion. That's just crazy.
69 in a rickshaw.
I mean, like full on. I'm talking about intercourse.
Yeah, no, I know.
There are other things that you can do while driving, but that is just.
Well, you not Kathy, but you can do it.
Well,
No, you could get roadhead. Can you say that?
No.
we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Who are you?
Have you ever?
Ew, it's so yucky.
There's your answer.
And now we're back. This brief fling to a normal sexual life, and now we're back.
I like how you make the word "ew" 12 syllables.
I want you guys to understand.
Okay. It's a little emphasis that she puts on it. Some of these texts are crazy. Had a guy friend who was with his wife and finished and yelled "hot soup."
Hot soup. That's dirty talk for Bill.
He said, "Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Soup. Minestrone. Minestrone, chicken noodle.
Chowder.
Soup is sexual. Soup is dirty.
Gets all over the floor. Gets on the pillows. Soup's bad.
I miss Bill.
Split pea.
Stevie wakes up having a nightmare about it.
Split pea, clam chowder.
What, honey? You're bathed in sweat. I had a bad dream. They're looking at the stool, open barn door. What are you saying?
He just blurts them out.
Oh, dear God. Kathy, here's this story that I promised I would bring up to you.
Lipstick?
Lipstick. Apparently isn't just a little pop of the color. It can be much more powerful. Bobby Rimmel, a gynecologist and oncologist at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, says for cancer patients, lipstick often serves as a symbol of health and vibrancy.
Huh.
And says that lipstick helps restore a normal sense of self that a patient can lose during an incredibly difficult cancer treatment and help them feel like themselves.
I was never a lipstick wearer. I never wore lipstick until, I guess as I aged, I started wearing it more. So
was it your first rainbow party that...
Stop it. So, yes, I think it does help you, feel better about yourself. And especially if, maybe if they're going through chemo and they've lost their hair or whatever it is, just that little bit of lipstick, I could see that
Could make
helping
you feel
them.
wonderful.
Look, I've got a whole bag of lipsticks here. So,
all right, put on something.
Shake 'em.
anybody? I just did.
Let's hear it so people can
this
hear
is
your
lame, whatever.
how
Oh,
much
my-
lipstick you have.
Oh, okay.
You have your bag there?
Yeah.
Pour it out on the table.
Okay. Here.
This is Kathy's
Wow.
cosmetics
My little
array.
brush.
What is your I'm going out and I want action with an illegal alien? What's that lip? No, what is your I want to, as President says, you want to just feel your absolute best.
You want to look sexy.
You want to be sexy.
Well, listen, it depends on the time of year.
Say you're going to like a police function and there'll be a lot of guys in uniform there.
Well, in that case, I'd wear this lipstick. No, it depends on I wore darker lipstick throughout the winter, and I just got my spring colors. So there's a lot of blushes and roses in there. Those type of colors.
Do you love watching? I love watching my wife put on lipstick. Yeah, I think it's very sexy.
Come on, guys, let's put on some lipstick.
You have food in your mouth. How am I gonna put lipstick on?
Let him eat first. He needs to eat. Yeah, a little bit of chaw.
By the way, I'm so mad.
Why?
Because my bagel was supposed to have butter on it. It had cream cheese. Oh, man.
Is that what you were gesturing to me about?
Yeah. Oh, well, I thought it was yours.
Oh, my God. Can you put it on for me?
Oh, you want me to put it on you?
Yeah. Kathy, this one has pubes all over it.
Oh, it does. Sorry about that. I use it for my other lips.
By the way, Kathy, you can mix colors, right? And get a
Yeah,
different.
sure. Of course.
Yeah.
That's like the fun part. You experiment.
So my wife had done like this purple, this pearl, or not pearl, plum, and then she put like almost black and mixed it together, made it real dark and juicy. Oh, you little slut, you. You. Somebody's getting ready for a big weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
Steve.
weekend.
Steve, can you do Yoo-Hoo for us?
That's messed up.
Now this is, and then the guy blacks out, and then I blacked out, and then I woke up and he was over me like some sort of condor. This big bald guy got lipstick on. He's going yoo-hoo, and I turned around and woke up. I was bleeding.
Holy, oh my God, look at you.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I still look more feminine than Caitlyn Jenner.
Quickly, do we have a wig? Do we have a wig? Yes, we do. Casey's putting the wig on Steve. And it's a bad wig. It's, oh my God. Oh my God.
For the love of God.
Oh, this is just. Oh, this is so.
I'm so freaked out right now.
This is awesome.
This looks like the ad for Split 2.
Yes!
Yeah, totally.
You'll come live in my basement.
I can't do it.
We have
I
Knight's
should
new
go home to
character.
Clara. I have something to tell you.
And now the voice.
Yeah.
It's brought it all together.
It's all gone.
Oh my God.
How long does that
God.
lipstick stay on? It's designed for it to like stay on for a while, right?
Well, what Steve has is going to stay on for a long time.
Because he has an important appointment later on today.
What is he? What do you have?
We're closing on the house.
I forgot about that.
Did you imagine?
Oh my God, dude.
But apparently, lipstick can make you feel more vibrant when you put it on. Do you?
I feel more vibrant.
You feel more
I feel prettier. I feel pretty for the first time.
Wow.
I would agree with that.
I tell you what, though, how annoying having no hair is so much better than having.
Yeah, you got to brush it out of your eyes.
Oh my God,
it's a pain, isn't it? Yeah.
Are you ready, girls?
Oh, the voice.
Walk along in high heels, feeling my testicles swinging back.
Oh my God. This just bizarrely, spontaneously happened.
And it is bizarre.
It is
well,
fantastic.
you were saying, and I am a big fan of the red. Well, yours
I
is
like
kind
your
of-
lipstick better.
Yeah, you have better
But
lipstick.
this is
Steve.
lip gloss, correct?
It's a matte. It's a matte color. So, she said so it won't come off.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, good.
Oh no. Steve's closing on a house today.
Well, what would?
It'll come off
But you
by
already know the
then, but
people
you
that are there.
might have it for
Do
the
you-
entire show.
So let me get this straight. This is all marketing that once you apply it, it stays on till you die and rot in the ground. No, it's clearly removable.
But it's
I've heard apply it once and then live with it for the rest of your life.
No, but red lipstick is pretty difficult to get off.
Okay,
Not
he,
for me.
he can do it though.
No,
I work out.
I've heard of people getting eyeliner tattooed on. Right?
Yeah.
You can't have
Michael
lipstick.
Jackson had that.
My grandmother had that done.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Had the eyeliner tattooed on.
Steve looks like somebody. You look like a
Caitlin's hotter sister.
No,
Like
no,
an actress?
and like an
Or
actual
call it
female
you do.
actress.
A younger Kathy Bates.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Safer for your lawn, kids, and pets. You can schedule their full service program and get free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED. Natural Lawn of America, greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, rapper Lil Xan leaving the hospital after checking himself in for exhaustion and depression. Apparently, Xan was dealing with an existential crisis over why he doesn't have an apostrophe in his Lil. Travis Scott performing on stage for the first time since the Astroworld tragedy back in November. Scott proudly wrote the #1 on an OSHA sign reading, "Number of Travis Scott concerts since people were crushed to death." And finally, Nick Lachey cursing and charging at a woman he accused of photographing him all afternoon long as he dined at an alfresco Beverly Hills restaurant. Lachey called the woman a blood-sucking gossip whore, at which point she told him she was a surveyor. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
Yep, we'll look for this answer because of yesterday's weather. Don Henley was inspired to write a new song for an old song last night. And what was it called? It is Joe that we're going to go to. Hey there, Joe.
Hey, it's the Boys of Squalor.
Yes, Boys of Squalor, because we had those winter squalls yesterday. Joe got it right, and that means he gets some tickets to see Tom Segura Saturday, August 27th. That'll be at the Hard Rock Hotel, Atlantic City, and tickets are on sale now. Hard Rock Hotel, AtlanticCity.com for the complete details.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, just two things for you this morning. Perry Farrell took to Instagram to post a video saluting Taylor Hawkins. And I know we have a clip of it. Do we have the whole thing, or is it a clip?
I believe it might be the whole thing, Preston. I'm not quite sure, but it's him reading this text.
It's about 14 seconds.
All right, so let me read this to you. This was a video that he made, and he had said Taylor Hawkins died yesterday. He said he was my best friend.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Didn't know that.
They were that close. He said, beloved in my home, by my wife, my children, even my dogs. Whenever Taylor came over, we would make music in the den. My dog Cloud would always go and sit right by him. He was one of the most passionate drummers I've ever seen in my lifetime. When I think of him, I sum it up with one word: velocity. He had the gift to maintain a confident, striking, and stroking velocity on drums. He went on to say, there's a large part of my heart that I had reserved for him. I accepted him into my heart when we became friends because he was such a pure guy, so pure of heart. I would receive texts from Taylor, and they were always bits and pieces of songs that he was writing or looking to write or wanted me to listen to. I got music tidbits as often as I got I love yous. We would always start with a song, like, do you listen to Yes? And the guy sounds like you. And I say, yeah, I like Yes. And he was just obsessed with music and great songs. My passion for music That's what our common ground was. Our friendship was based around that, and then we got to know each other. He said he would tell me stories of going to Jane's shows back in the 80s, shows that were pretty underground. So although I didn't make his acquaintance back then, we shared a history. It's almost like the rites of passage. We were young men and we were trying to be great musicians. Little did he know that this one fatal night, he would cement himself in the legends of music for all time, and that's what I think he deserves. He ended by saying, the only sense that I can make of the tragedy is to know that Taylor's now in heaven. He can hear us. What I'm going to do from this day forward is try to make music that I think Taylor would really love. And so he has a clip of a message he left him.
It was
there was reading a text message,
voice to text.
Okay.
So, and he reads the transcript of that text.
Okay.
Take care of each other, and I'll take care of me. And I will see you guys in Sao Paulo. I love, 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 love you guys. Sleep tight.
So that was, I guess maybe that was their last communications.
Yeah.
So they were really, really close. And I didn't know, he considered him a best friend or his best friend. So it's terrible. And more stories coming out of what an effect he had on people. And it's just sad that he's gone too soon. And then the final thing I have in music news, so it was a quick one. Roxy Music will reunite for a 13-date fall tour, taking in 10 North American stops. They're coming to Philadelphia.
Roxy Music.
Pretty cool.
Always liked Roxy Music.
Yeah. They were one of my top bands, but the songs I like, I really like.
Yes, absolutely.
Brian Ferry's such a passionate singer. So he and the lineup rounded out by Andy McKay. Is somebody eating something?
Nah, I'm playing Love is the Drug.
Oh, okay.
This is the beginning part.
Starts off with somebody.
Someone eating.
It's a deer eating a pretzel.
And Phil. At that point, you say, there's nothing. Nothing more than
Could
this.
there be more than this?
Yes. Nope.
I don't think so. They hook up the chains to lumber, pull it across the mud.
Yeah. A big sled.
Big sled, if you will.
Yeah.
Made of mighty oak.
Yeah. Who knew? Roxy Music. And that song inspired by a monster truck.
Well, those great lilting ballads of the 80s were actually inspired very much by Monster Truck Show.
Listen, so monster truck shows and tractor pulls are two completely different things.
Yes, I know.
When I lived out in the boonies, or when my band played out in the boonies, we went to a couple of tractor pulls. The stupidest thing I've ever seen. Just,
you know what?
Just like so anticlimactic. There's just dumb all the way around.
And yet, bizarrely, when they cover it on TV sometimes,
yes, they're huge fans.
You know, I'll tell you this. What's the one, Preston, where they're in the mud bogs?
Yep. I know what you're talking about, Steve. And they have these vehicles with
riveted.
really big tires.
Yeah.
And they go as far as they can into the water or all the way across. I know.
It's
I used to
amazing.
see that run on TV too, and I'm like, this is stupid as well. You thought that was amazing?
Yeah, it's so you've taken making mud pies as a kid and turned it into a 1,500 horsepower event.
All right, Preston.
We're watching it right here. It's kind of cool.
Every Sunday for the rest of the year, if you had to, would you do a tractor pull or lawnmower races?
They're almost one and the same. I mean, they're, you know what I mean?
They are. They're the same mechanism.
Interchangeable to me. So
I love these souped up lawnmowers.
Wow, look at that thing move 50 yards. That was amazing. You know, we're looking at a compilation of.
Kathy, can you explain this to us? We know this is your thing.
I'll go to line dancing.
All right. Anyway,
we'll do this for a sorority event.
That's it. That's music news and your tractor pull news. The TPN. Yeah, on the President's Defense. Tractor pull news.
I think Pierre's doing a block.
I like it. People can relate.
Bill loves it. People like trucks.
They like to pull things.
Right. Let's give away some movie passes to a movie called Ambulance. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal. It's directed by Michael Bay. And the screening is going to be Tuesday, April 5th, so 1 week from today.
It's supposed to be really good.
And we can take 4 callers right now, 215-263-WMMR, and you will be able to go see this. Not only Jake Gyllenhaal, but Yahya Abdul-Mateen, the second, and
is Angelina Jolie in it?
Asa Gonzalez. No, I don't think Angelina Jolie is in this.
Is Terry Bradshaw in this?
Maybe Terry Bradshaw. It stars as Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Rated R, only in theaters.
And then I did a movie called Hacks.
215-263-WMMR. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Make sure you stay with us.
Like somebody 80s hair metal band, like because there's this. The guys in bands in the 80s would put lipstick on.
Oh, it's like when they're past their prime and they don't. They're performing now in
like David
in
Coverdale.
Tokyo. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
I went to see Coverdale the other night. Holy crap!
Casey, you can get permanent lipstick tattooed, but it's not like it's sort of just like a neutral lip color. Like they almost darken your lip color a little bit.
Okay.
All right. This is a name out of the past. Linda Tripp.
Yes.
Do you remember Linda Tripp?
Tripp was the one that betrayed Monica Lewinsky.
Yes. Could someone pull up a picture of Linda Tripp? I want to see if.
Let's put it this way: John Goodman played her on SNL.
That's right.
I forgot about now, would I?
Oh my God!
When women, by the way, Kathy, this is a trick I've noticed. A lot of women don't do this. When they're listening, they go. They'll jut the lower
kind of
lip.
pouting a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a forced thing to make it, oh, you're going to ask me something?
Steve, say prune.
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 I have to take a poop.
Pip. Prune.
I don't think prune is the right.
Wait a minute. Do your Sean Connery with the wearing.
Check a perp. Check this picture now. You have indulged your perversion. I will not make your pancakes.
You're better looking than Linda Tripp.
Yeah.
You are?
The reason that we were going there is because a guy that has been on the show several times, is a South Jersey native, and you've heard us talk to him on the air and talk about him many times. The composer, Michael Giacchino, invited us out to be a part of something really cool. He is currently, or was currently, scoring the film Spider-Man Homecoming. And he was doing it at the 20th Century Fox Studios and invited us all to be out there if we wanted to be in the studio while they were recording the music for the movie.
That's amazing.
So Nick and I took advantage of it. There were some other commitments, and that's why not everybody could make it. But I'm telling you, this guy, number one, for those who may not be familiar with Michael Giacchino, has composed the music for some of your favorite movies. And just start with some of the Pixar stuff, The Incredibles, Up, Inside Out, and then you move over to things like Planet of the Apes. He has also done the Star Trek films. J.J. Abrams, and he did all the music for Lost. He started in video games, so Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
A bunch of series of video games that he did, and he is the guy. He did Rogue One. He did. Did he do Force Awakens as well?
No,
I think
he didn't do that one. But he did Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And
he's gotten. They've handed over these John Williams scores and said, "Here, update and run with this."
He is the heir apparent. He is the guy right now. and the fact that he is as nice as he is, and a friend of the show.
Yeah.
And like, friends of the show never invite us to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they know we'd be an embarrassment.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much our prohibitive factor. But this was so cool that you got to go out there.
So he invited us out, and he also said that it was cool if my entire family came along as well. So it was me and Nick and my 3 kids and my wife.
Rochelle just had to pretend that she was Steve. She was me.
That's it. Yeah. No, but they were so nice. So we show up, and when I got there, Nick was already. I found him on the property, kind of trying to find the studio that we were going to go to, which was the Newman Studio.
Yeah.
Was that named after Randy Newman?
No, his uncle, I believe. And,
Okay.
But within that family, and so we're literally on the 20th Century Fox lot, which is sprawling. There are a lot of buildings. It's where they film movies, and some of those sound stages are huge. So we were going from one to the other, and ended up in Building 26, which is where they shot or were scoring rather the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and they had like the Jane Russell suite, and they even had the Marge Simpson stage, and all the things are named after famous actors and
Absolutely.
characters.
That's neat.
And the Jane Russell suite, I assume, has huge breasts, right?
Of course it does.
Yes.
So we show up for this really cool experience. What is this? Oh, Randy Newman. I Love L.A., yeah. Who, by the way, he does tons of movie scores.
Academy Award winner.
Absolutely.
He did Toy Story.
Yeah. And Michael Giacchino, by the way, an Academy Award winner
Yes.
as well. He won for Up. He won an Oscar. So we show up, and we're not sure what to expect. And
You feel out of place, and you feel like you shouldn't be there.
Well, we just follow the instructions on where to go, and eventually we're standing outside the store, and it says studio. There's a big red light and everything on it, and it wasn't going on. So we just walk in, and boom, we're in this recording studio.
What are you doing? We're halfway done, my God!
So we kind of sheepishly walk into the control room.
Who are these idiots?
Steve, I was afraid that was going to happen. I mean, like everybody was so nice and kind, but this is not where we work. This is where they work.
Yeah.
They're friends of mine. I invite.
Michael, God damn it! That's $50,000! Get him out of here! That guy's head is blocking the screen!
So we show up around 9:30, 10 o'clock. The session was going to start around 10. Actually, we showed up around 9:30, and we walk in, and they're all still getting in place, and we're just trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
Because there were several people in this very large control room.
You try to be mindful.
And so we just kind of scoot back and get out of the way and find our little spot. And Michael comes over, and he's like, hey, oh my God, you're here. He was just so excited that we actually made it. And his
Such a
sister,
nice guy.
Maria, was setting the whole thing up, being the liaison with Nick.
Did we mention he's from South Jersey? I mean, that was a connection in the first place. Riverside. He invited us back. And so if this is a one and done, I will be forever grateful. It really was a once in a lifetime opportunity. I do feel privileged because I am. But if we get to do it again, I really hope you can come again because he's not going to stop.
I do want to. And
are you ready for
should
this?
we do it?
Steve?
Yeah,
here we go.
Okay.
Well deserved.
Slightly privileged.
Jesus.
Very privileged, actually.
And that was just the one day. Do we need to take a break and come back and talk about the rest of the week?
I could go on, and I'm not going to do it. Fear for privilege overload. But there were so many great things that happened. That was just one of the days. So
It was one day.
It wasn't even a full day. It was just like 18 hours of the day.
Yeah.
And how long were you there?
6 days, I think, just shy of a week.
I was there Saturday I took the red eye in, so I did Easter with my family in LA and got back this morning.
When did you do Joshua Tree?
I did Joshua Tree on Friday, and I've mentioned this on the show a few times, but my goal is to get to every national park in the country. I'd never been into Joshua Tree before. It's incredible. It's right near Coachella, so that was going on this
How
past
was
week.
traffic getting there?
We avoided that. We went to the north side of the park and came in that way. Coachella's sort of on the south side of the park, but
I've been to Joshua Tree.
It is.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's only 2.5 hours from downtown LA. And I did rock climbing outside, and that was privilege as well.
And and speaking of privilege, I have to say thank you to Craig Shoemaker. Took me to play golf at. Calabasas Country Club.
Calabasas, that's where the Kardashians live.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Oh, he was pointing out all the houses like, oh, that's where Tom Bergeron lives. That's where blah, blah, blah. I mean, like right on the golf course.
I went to Nobu.
Yeah, that's right.
I went to Nobu, Malibu.
It's a great restaurant.
Where all the cool, trendy people.
You ready? And Arizona, this is legit. An Arizona police department shared photos of the swearing in of its newest and most unusual officer. It's Iro, the drug-sniffing lizard.
Iro, the drug-sniffing. Oh, that's what that picture was. I saw a bunch of cops with a lizard.
Iro is a bearded dragon that first came to the Avondale Police Department last April as part of a pilot program and was officially sworn in Thursday by Chief Dale Nanenga. The department said Iro was originally brought in after officials reviewed research indicating for today because it returns. We took the day off yesterday. We didn't think it was appropriate to do it right after the death of Taylor Hawkins over the weekend. So we are going to reinstate it today. And Madness starts at noon with Pierre. It'll be Lincoln Park against Tool.
Oh, boy.
Following that up, Rush against Iron Maiden. You know what I'm hoping for there.
Yep.
Sublime against Pearl Jam at 2. Then you have The Who against the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
Two British behemoths going off against each other. Then at 4 o'clock, the Struts against Foo Fighters. 5 o'clock, the Police against Van Halen. Nirvana will battle Chris Cornell and his various bands at 6 p.m. And then, Steve, at 7 o'clock, it's both our bands, Queen against Fleetwood Mac.
Okay, yeah. The fact that Fleetwood Mac had the kind of showing that it had, I'm happy with that.
Me too.
And, the Queen is...
Yeah.
Wait, who's your band?
Both of them.
Oh, both. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
both.
So I'm happy either way, but I mean, come on. It's Queen, man. You know? I mean, that's who I'm kind of thinking I'd like to see win the whole thing, but you never know. So anyhow, that kicks off today at noon. Pierre Robert, your host. Jackson, your host. Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram City, your sponsor. So, and you are the king. You are the judge. You are the queen. You are the one who makes it happen. So make sure that you can place those votes for the band that you want to win. I would like to thank the Headstrong Foundation for stopping by this morning. We had Cheryl and Phil and Sydney stop in, and they are helping support her, Sydney, through this process. She has cancer. Philly Takes on Cancer Challenge, by the way, is happening April 4th through May 6th, and you can go to headstrong.org to get all the information. There's a 5K coming up specifically that's going to help out Sydney.
Yes.
So contribute, help if you can. We would appreciate it. Thank you to Adam Goldberg and Bill Beretta. Executive producers, co-creators of The Muppets Mayhem. We don't know exactly when that's going to be hitting Disney Plus, but we do know it's going to be happening, and with two really cool people, so we're happy about that.
Very exciting, yeah.
And thank you to Jersey Mike's for coming by and dropping off the goodies this morning. And don't forget, tomorrow, make sure you purchase some lunch, some dinner, whatever from them, because 100% of sales will be donated to the Olympics of the USA Special Olympics teams. So
terrific.
Very good stuff there, and we're happy about that. All right. Today is Tuesday, which means we got to give away some ink for Tattoo Tuesday, and we're excited to set up Paula Towie of Glenside. I think it's Towie or Towie, Towey is what it looks like in Connor's scratch. So Paula is going to get a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing, and it's presented by Floating World Tattoo and Piercing here. Tattoo Tuesday is 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. You want to look at their artwork because they're amazing artists. Visit floatingworldtattoo.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos.
Hey, have we had a President Steve face tattoo yet?
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No?
Somebody tattoo their face.
Right.
Oh.
Don't do
if someone wants to
don't
step
do
up.
that. Let's not,
don't do
Why? That would be wonderful.
Don't let them do that.
You have something to talk to your grandkids about.
That's right. That's right. All right, we need to do the letter today. Casey's doing it.
I got you.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
A as in abomination.
All right, you have 2 letters now, 3 more to go, and then we give away the 4-pack of front row tickets and 4 early access pit tickets for Monster Jam, Saturday, April 16th at Lincoln Financial Field. Monster Jam is the big leagues, a monster truck competition where you'll witness the best drivers in the world and the most popular trucks tear up the dirt in intense competitions of speed and skill. It's April 16th at the Link, and tickets are on sale now at monsterjam.com. I'm going to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Acme Markets. You can get free flu shots or COVID-19 boosters at their pharmacy. Acme, fresh foods, local flavors. And also Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' is the official coffee of the Preston and Steve Show. Tomorrow on the program, on Wednesday, we have Fox Good Day, we have a secret text word, and we'll have director John Waters.
We love John Waters.
Always great to talk to him. He'll be joining us.
He's making a special accommodation for us.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, excellent. All right, that and more tomorrow morning. That's it. We're done. Rage on, and have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.